there. I'm back. I'm back. No, I'm not going to sing that. Anyway, there is the slipper that we're working on. It's the Bernat Super Value Men's and Ladies Slippers to Knit. Free pattern on the Bernat website, www.bernat.com. Alright. And I'm using scrap yarn. I'm using one big skein as my main color, and I'm using these scraps as my second color. So now I'm ready for... I just put my marker at the end of the last row back here. So there's my little marker dangling there on that last stitch. You can see it better on the other side there. So there's my marker. Now it says work in garter stitch until work from marked row. Well, I'll bring it to the front so you can see. This is the row we're going to be measuring from. So from the work from that last row is going to be 4.5 inches. So we're going to have to knit every row for 4.5 inches. So we're just going to be knitting for a while. And the way you will measure your 4.5 inches is what I like to do is I'll come across until I get to the middle of this row, and I'll put another marker there because I'd rather have the marker at the middle instead of at the edge, because it's easier to measure up from the middle than it is from on the edge. I think it's a more accurate measurement, but that's just me. You can keep your marker at the edge if you want. I guess I'm just a little bit of a rebel. Not that much though. Alright. Almost at the middle. Okay, here we go. Here's the middle. And here's where I want my marker to be, because it'll be easier to measure at that. So I'm going to put my marker at the row before. So don't put it over there. Put it on this one, on the left needle, because that's the row you worked before. I have to be real careful with these little plastic markers. I've broken them before because I squeeze them too hard. There we go. Now that'll be easy to measure from. And see, after I finish knitting, it stays right down there. And that's where I want it to stay. I want it to stay down there. Stay down there. Don't you move. There. So that's what we're doing. We're just knitting across. I hope I have enough of this gray to make it across this row. I think I did. I'm getting close. Let's make it. Come on, Gray, you can do it. You can do it, Gray. Hang on. Don't let me down. Don't let me down. There's only 2 more stitches. You can do it. Come on. Come on. You can do it. You can do it. Yay! We did it. Woohoo! Alright, yeah, I know I'm kind of weird. There. That's all that I have left of the gray. It's about 5 inches, which is a good length. You want to leave enough so that when you go back later with your needle to weave in the ends, you want it to be easy to work with. And this is not too bad. I can work with that. So now we're going to drop that gray, because we don't have any more anyway. It's time to move to the next color. So all I do is I look at my slipper and I see where I did gray, and then I switched to this shiny gray. So now I'm ready for the shiny gray. And I can hold it up to that and compare, and I say, yes, that's the same. So now I'm ready for my shiny gray. And this way my slippers are going to exactly match from toe to heel. The colors are going to be the same, which will be pretty awesome. So now you get to see how I tie on the new yarn again. So you don't do anything with the blue yarn, you just leave it alone. And now I'm going to tie my new gray, my shiny gray, onto the old gray, and I just do a little double knot, or a little locking knot, whatever, I don't know what you call it. I never was a scout. There we go. So we have those 2 ends, and we'll leave those there, and then we'll move on to the next row and just keep knitting. So that's how you'll do a color change or a yarn change as you're using your scraps of yarn, if you do the same way I do. If you don't use scraps like me, then you'll just keep knitting and you won't have to worry about your color changes. And that knot that we just made, that knot will, when we finish the slippers, we'll be untying that knot and then weaving in the ends. And that'll make it nice and neat. your sock won't have any knots in it. Sometimes I don't even worry about the knots. I just leave them in there because it doesn't look bad, because it's across this edge anyway. So that's the way that works. And now just keep on knitting. So I will see you in the next video after I've finished knitting 4.5 inches up from that marker. So you and I will be at the same spot for the next video. So I look forward to seeing you then. Just keep knitting every row straight. Make sure you don't add any extra stitches at the end of the rows or at the beginning of the row or in the middle of the row. Just keep going. Knit every stitch, and I'll see you soon. We'll be ready to do more markers when we get to that point. So there we go. Almost finished with this row. May as well finish before I say goodbye. Yeah, 2 more stitches. We can do it. Nice. Alright. Now I'm ready to work the next row. And so there's our marker. So we've only done like probably 1/4 inch, I guess. So just keep knitting every row until you get up to 4.5 inches. See you later. Bye.